There we go. Now we're live. Yeah.
Hi, Jimmy.
Hi.
You're coming to me from Texas. I'm in Florida,
Hmm.
and we're going to talk about something that is a very hot viral topic. Everybody's talking about it, and we have decided behind the scenes that we're going to get really vulnerable today and tell our own journeys in hopes that maybe somebody will be inspired to learn from them and realize if they have the same issues. I don't know if issues is the right word to call it. The same issues, for lack of a better word, that we've
Yeah.
experienced in our lifetimes with the relationship with food and weight loss and our weight and body composition and so forth. Maybe it'll inspire them. So I think it's a great topic. It's definitely seems like one that gets a lot of attention. So
Mhm.
today we are doing weight loss versus body composition and what we're focused on. And I thought I might let you tell your story first, and
Okay.
then I might throw out some questions or statements that we hear of a lot of time, like skinny doesn't automatically mean healthy,
Hmm.
that kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
does that sound good?
Yeah. That sounds
Okay,
great.
this is just raw, you guys. I'm Amy Lacey. I'm the founder of, well, I was the founder of Cauliflower Foods, and Jimmy helped me build it along with an amazing team. And now we're building Livion, which we have some amazing products. We have soursop gummies with echinacea and elderberry. We have electrolytes that we sold out of like that are coming back. And we have the most amazing 4-step skincare line that's just off the charts. Jimmy is an esthetician. That's how I met her. She used to do my eyelashes because I have no friends. Couldn't wear mascara, did lashes. Incredible person, incredible work ethic, but has a history with food,
Yeah.
and so we're just going to be raw and vulnerable. And I hope it helps somebody today because that's what our hearts are both to serve people. And we like to serve the person we once were, I
Hmm.
think. So you have the floor to tell us your story.
Okay. Well, I'm not even sure where to start. I guess, you know, growing up, we didn't have a lot of money, and my dad's a pastor, and he's a retired pastor. And we were actually just talking the other day. He came to visit me, and we were just talking about how much money he made, and my kids were just shocked. I was like, I know. And I know back then it all is different with inflation and everything, but we were poor. I mean, we were poor, poor, poor. And so, I just lived on like top ramen and macaroni and cheese, basically.
That's so funny because my mom was a single mom, and I just remember KFC drive through
Right.
all the time and
Yeah.
McDonald's.
Oh,
And
yeah.
my kids wouldn't even eat McDonald's.
Yeah.
I'd take them there and they'd be like, "No, the golden arches are bad for you." Anyways, what a change.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, that was just sort of, I mean, my mom worked at the church, and she was really busy. She was a choir director. She taught piano. She was just incredible and very, very busy. And so we did eat dinner around the table sometimes, but usually it was like grab and go. It was every man for himself. We were all just kind of like running different directions. And it, healthy eating just wasn't prioritized in our family. That it was just kind of an afterthought. So anyway, I ultimately ended up becoming severely obese. And my mom passed away from breast cancer, and I medicated myself with food. I actually lived at the McDonald's drive-through during that time,
I've
and
seen
drank.
pictures.
Yeah,
Guys, I wish we could throw a picture up. You'd be shocked. But yeah,
yeah. It
that's
was a different time in my life. But yeah, that's how I medicated myself. It was like socially acceptable in church to medicate yourself by overeating versus, if drinking was a sin, smoking was a sin, all these other, and when I was growing up, even going to the movies was a sin, funny enough.
funny.
But
Isn't it a sin though to not take care of the temple that God gave you?
oh, absolutely. And if you ask anybody now in the church, I feel like that conversation has changed a lot. But growing up, it was like a socially acceptable way to sort of manage your feelings. And so I kind of make a joke with my friends about shoving things down my feelings hole. So just eating, 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 because I was just trying to like medicate myself basically with food. And so when my mom passed away, that's just one of the things that I went to, is just overeating. And then I was also taking antidepressants at the time. And then of course that messes with you, that can cause either weight loss or weight gain sometimes.
And I do want to say one thing though. I said you should see the pictures. You are still so beautiful in those pictures.
Oh, thank
You
you.
may have weighed well over 200 pounds, but you were very, very beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. But I didn't know that, I didn't feel beautiful and I felt just terrible. I felt like, kind of worthless. I did become a workaholic at that time as well because it was the one thing that I felt like I could do and do really well. So this, yeah, I have a tendency to do that even still, as Amy knows. But
well, no, but I mean, a lot of times, well, I know for myself, when I was binge eating, it was a control issue.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a control thing. Absolutely. So
go in. Sorry.
Yeah. So no, it's totally fine. So that was sort of my journey. And then I woke up about a year after my mom passed away, the heaviest I've ever been, the most just miserable, to be honest, that I'd ever been. And I kind of just snapped out of it. I was like, I don't want to be this way. I don't want to follow in her footsteps. I don't want to end up, in her situation. I needed to start taking care of myself. And so I started taking steps to get off of my antidepressant, which of course helps kind of clear the head a little bit. Now I am seriously no judgment for people who need that. Like I want to make sure everybody knows this is a safe space. Like I don't have judgment for anybody on anything that they're dealing with. For me, it just wasn't the right thing. I was using it to dumb down my feelings and just not feel so much because of having lost my mother. And she was my very best friend in the whole world. And so it was devastating. But I started taking steps towards getting off of my antidepressant. And then I started dieting. And I really was never an active child. I've been singing my whole life, but I've never been a very active person growing up. So it never even occurred to me that I could be strong. Like it just never was even something that came into my mind as like an option. I just was like, I have asthma, I struggle, I just can't, I can't do it. So I started focusing on just trying to lose weight and get skinny because that was the only thing I thought maybe could be an option for me. And it took me quite a few years and I worked really hard and did major calorie deficits and ended up getting very, very thin over the course of years of just being, well, it's like I overate and I binge ate and I medicated myself that way. And that was a control thing. And then I went the complete opposite direction and I stopped eating and I basically created a completely different disordered relationship with food where I didn't eat at all. I did eat, but I mean, I wasn't anorexic. I was like one meal a day. And there's all that research coming out at that time. This was around when Dave Asprey was doing his Bulletproof Coffee and, the 4-hour work week, Tim Ferriss, like everybody's just pushing you to like fast. So I'm over here saying, oh, I'm fasting. I'm doing intermittent fasting. I'm doing OMAD, which is one meal a day. But I was like completely nutrient deficient. I was losing my hair. I'm 5'10" and I got down to 130 pounds.
I know. I remember that.
Which was, I think a lot of people, you see that in Hollywood and it's really common, but in real life, it doesn't look good. Like I looked kind of emaciated.
Then, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I've gone the pendulum. I've gone from way, to like, over the top this way and then over the top this way. And all of it just has to do with control and just not really having a healthy relationship with food at all. Along the way, I had 2 babies. I became gluten intolerant. I also got I have a corn allergy. So then I started to have food phobias and I have learned in the last few years, they call that orthorexia. So I became afraid of eating almost anything, but definitely it was afraid of eating anything that was bad for me. And so just completely over the top with my relationship with food. It's just been all over the place. And then I guess, recently in the last probably since 2023, actually, August of 2023. My sister-in-law, she said, "Hey, do you want to do a Pilates challenge with me?" And I was like, "Sure. How hard can it be?"
Mhm.
And I thought I was going to die because I was not physically active, And I did this Pilates challenge. I remember trying to just take a breath and my ribs hurting so bad just from doing Pilates one time. And I'm just one of those people when something's hard, I push myself into it even harder because I'm like, okay, well, this is stupid. I should be able to breathe, after doing Pilates. So what is wrong with me that I can't do this? So anyway, so I started doing Pilates regularly and then got a lot stronger and focused on getting strong and stopped focusing on being thin. And yeah, so that's kind of my quick Reader's Digest version of where I'm at now, which is I actually do some Pilates still, but I mostly am just weightlifting. I'm mostly doing weights in the garage and just lifting as heavy as I possibly can and squatting as heavy as I possibly can and just building my muscle structure. That's the whole goal. So I've gone from weighing myself twice a day to weighing myself maybe once every other week, just to kind of have it as data, not to beat myself up about it. And then, yeah, so that's
So
my story.
speaking of the scale,
Mhm.
the scale can go down while your health gets worse. And so a lot of times, like when people are doing what you're talking about, where they're eating maybe only one meal a day and they're nutrient deficient. And I mean, if you think about it, we've been talking a lot about the GLP-1s, which definitely decreases your appetite and what you're eating. And we have supplements that can help offset that nutrient deficiency.
Mhm.
But I know for a while I was obsessed with the scale and I would get on it every morning. And if it didn't go down, I got really discouraged.
Yeah.
And yet, and I remember I lost like 23 pounds and then I got my blood work done and it was horrific. I'm like,
Yeah.
how could this possibly be? So just because your scale goes down, and there's 1 in 8 Americans are now on a GLP-1. That's crazy numbers to me.
Yep.
That just shows that people are just that desperate to get this weight off.
Well, get weight off, but also, it's really trendy now to be uber skinny again. It's
Is
like, oh yeah, it's becoming this whole, look at Hollywood.
Trendy again?
Oh gosh, it's disgusting.
Where am I?
Well, it's the
Nasty mean.
what's that? Oh, somebody, yeah.
Yeah, we got somebody being mean to us on the
Oh, that's okay. That's,
we can handle it. Bring it on.
that's fine.
But no, seriously, Kate Moss era is back. I did not know that.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
becoming,
enough.
you sort of have like, because I follow a lot of people who are big into like weightlifting now, because I'm actually trying to like learn how to do an RDL the right way and like learn how to lift weights properly.
Wait, what's RDL?
That's the Romanian deadlift.
Oh yeah, RDL. Yeah.
Okay. But like it's a glute exercise. I'm trying to learn how to do it right. So I'm like, I watch like all these Instagram people who are showing you here's the proper way to do an RDL and all these different things. And then at the same time, you have a ton of people who are either shaming Hollywood for how skinny or glorifying Hollywood for how skinny everybody is. But everybody's talking about the overdoing it of GLP-1s and how just emaciated a lot of the people in Hollywood are specifically. So I don't know if it's back in terms of, I don't know if mainstream people are all submitting to this, but I know that Hollywood is shrinking. And so there's a backlash of people saying, stop trying to be less, stop trying to shrink, stop trying, or there are people who are like, yeah, let's do this. Let's just get emaciated along with the rest of them. So
yeah, good. All right, I'm going to throw some things at you. Well, first of all, I'll just quickly tell my story. And this person up in smoke, you should just go off and do your thing. Like, get off our channel here, because I think smoking is terrible personally, but whatever. But anyways, Binge eating, binge shopping. I'm a binger, and I, have that childhood trauma that I've struggled with, and I think it's made me. And I'm not blaming my childhood. I'm 56 years old. I'm accountable for myself, but I'm impulsive. I've really learned how to control that. And there you go. You got rid of it. Good. Yay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because we had some really nice people on, and then we get this
I know. We had somebody like quoting scripture.
nasty online because they come face me to my face. See what I've done and what you've done in life and how you've contributed. And like, go look at yourself in the mirror. I'm so sick of people bashing people. Like, I'm here to bash myself right now and say, yeah, I'm a binge eater, or I was a binge eater and a binge shopper, and I binged, and then I had shame and guilt around it, and then that would make me do it even more. So I was doing a lot of closet eating, and it was really shameful and really hard. So I had to do therapy over that.
Yeah.
But, I've learned that I can't judge the scale. I can't let that dictate who I am. It's what I feel like in my clothing and what I feel like in the mirror. And I feel pretty good right now, and I have a long ways to go. Like, if I base it on the scale, I have a long ways to go. If I base it on my muscle, which is really what I want to base it on, I have a long ways to go. Because I did my body composition, and I really think that should be your basis, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You have one of those Hume scales, don't you?
I do.
I'm so jealous. I want one.
That was, I'm in a pilot program, which I'm not allowed to talk about, but they gave me that scale. That has been really an eye opener. And then I had to get pre-blood work done. And I am really proud to say this. For the first time ever, my inflammation numbers were normal. They're never normal. They're always off the charts. And I know that's our products. I'm not here to like plug our products, but that's the only thing I've done really different. I have lost weight, and I'm on a weight loss journey to get healthier, mainly because I was pre-diabetic, and I do suffer from autoimmune and stuff and connective tissue disorder. And so it really does help me to be in a normal weight range. I'm not trying to be, some super skinny person. Anybody that knows me or has seen me the last 10 years knows that. I have 3 kids. I mostly gained a lot of my weight during pregnancy. And then it was funny because I can remember Grant would be like 6 years old, and I'd be somewhere and be like, oh yeah, I just had a baby. Oh, don't ask me how old he is, because he's like 6 years old. But I felt like I was, a lot of times I would be like, oh yeah, I have baby weight. He's 6 years old. Like, that was a long time ago. Now he's 17. I definitely can't say that. But what's interesting, and I want to get your feedback on this, and I think it's inflammation anyways, but I'm looking at pictures of the cauliflower days. So that's 10 years ago. And I weighed 30 pounds less than I do right now. And I've lost 23 pounds. I still weighed 30 pounds less, and I look huge. And somebody was looking at the pictures with me, and they're like, wow, you were so much heavier then. And I'm like, no, I actually was way lighter then. That is all inflammation. That's all puffiness, stress. We were on the road a lot. We ate a lot of, I ate a lot of, you were always really disciplined, but I wasn't. Or here's what I did, and I'll admit it now. You know how I was always insistent on having my own room and everybody else was sharing or rented a house together? It's because I would closet eat. I would closet eat what I wasn't supposed to. And I'd be so stressed out because we'd be doing a show or something, and I'd be stressing out about the business, and then I would eat a bag of M&Ms, or like sugar closet eater.
Yeah. Well, I remember too, there were lots of times where we'd be at like a show, and we wouldn't get back into the hotel until 10 or 11 at night. And then we wouldn't have had dinner. And so then we'd order room service at like midnight. I mean, that's just not good for anybody, and room service with so much sodium. And
we would get lettuce burgers and French fries.
Yeah.
We're being so healthy. We're not eating the bun. We're low carb.
I mean, I can never eat the bun. I've never been able to eat the bun. I mean, not in so many years, but yeah, it's so funny because like, it's just the 12 o'clock at night eating. I mean, that's not good for anybody,
No, but, and you mentioned that you used to always talk about intermittent fasting. I still intermittent fast. I love it. I
Me
love
too
how
again.
I feel.
Yeah, I do too.
I feel really good. It's
Yeah.
not for any other reason. Okay, I'm going to throw.
And also, there's a lot of really incredible benefits to intermittent fasting. I just used the term intermittent fasting as an excuse to become basically like, I'm not
So
eating.
for the last 10 years, you have been in innovation with me. You've helped me create some of the most amazing products that have let diabetics eat pizza again, people have lost hundreds of pounds eating the pizza crust and even eating soursop. It's very anti-inflammatory. It's great. Inflammation is a killer. We all have inflammation.
Mhm.
I don't even want to go down that road right now because I get on my high horse about it because so many products are causing inflammation and people are being sick. But I'm going to throw out some, these are hook style viral things that people are talking about that give them viral moments on Instagram. Skinny doesn't automatically mean healthy. I already said that. We already talked about that. Okay. The scale can go down while your health gets worse. We talked about that. What about fat loss and weight loss? They're not the same thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. So, as an example, now that I'm lifting weights, I actually gained weight initially because I was lifting weights, And so, but then while I'm sitting here resting, even though I'm just like talking to you because I have more muscle mass, I'm actually burning more calories at resting than I used to because I have more muscle mass. So I think a lot of people are just hooked on what the scale says and they almost even abuse themselves verbally and mentally based off of what's happening on the scale instead of recognizing, and especially with women because of our hormones and everything. I mean, we can gain 5 pounds in a matter of just a couple of days, just purely based off of if I started my cycle or not, and then bloating and all of that. So, I mean, I definitely think that it's not the same. And being worried about losing weight constantly. I mean, I think there's also just
can make you gain weight.
Yeah.
Sorry, but it releases cortisol. Again, just worrying about losing weight can make you gain weight.
Yeah.
Or not getting enough sleep. If I don't get enough sleep and then I will get on the scale, be 3 pounds heavier, and the next night I'll get a full night's sleep and it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yeah.
You keep going.
No, I was just thinking about, my mom's generation was obsessed. I mean, it was like the 70s, everybody was really thin. Mm-hmm. And then, they all grew, I'm talking about like kind of baby boomer generation, they came through the 80s and the 90s, and then a lot of them just let themselves go. And then, my mom passed away, so she didn't make it to this part of the conversation, but like a lot of my friends' moms are still kind of obsessed with being skinny. And we're talking about women in their 70s. And I'm like, you guys, I'm, over here trying to encourage them because I'm thinking about what I want to be like when I'm in my 70s. And I'm like, I want to be able to open a pickle jar by myself. What if I don't have a husband and I need to be able to open a pickle jar?
Or I want to walk without worrying about falling.
Or run up the stairs to chase my grandkids. Or my goals have changed so much. And I think that there's still this old, maybe old school way of thinking that says like, I need to be a certain size, or I need to look a certain way, or I need to, hit some sort of metric that's expected of me. And I'm over here just thinking, my goals have changed so much just based off of living life. Like I have aches and pains at 46 that I didn't have at 36. I can't imagine if I wasn't lifting weights and working out. And I mean, I have asthma and I can run up my stairs and not even be winded. And remember when we hiked that mountain up in Tahoe?
Yeah.
I was like not even winded. I mean, and I'm used to East Texas now, and I'm over here like, this is crazy. This is because I've been working out,
Wow, it was like a 4 or 5 hour round trip hike.
It was so
pretty intense.
It was straight up. It was beautiful. We did a good
job. Beautiful. I thought we were going on like a nature walk. I wore my Prada tennis shoes. I'm like, oh, we're going on a nature walk. No, we're going.
We didn't even bring water. You're the only one who got water.
We didn't bring water. Like, it was not a nature hike. It was a hike. But we did really well with it because we had both been working out. All right. So you don't want to just lose weight. You want to change your body composition. We talked about that. So I think it's really important to get that done. And you can get that done in a lot of places, but definitely do that. Look at your whole body. The muscle is the real anti-aging secret that everybody's talking about.
It feels like it lately.
Yeah. So you told me before we even got on here, you're like, yeah, I'm lifting really heavy weights. And a lot of women are worried about bulking up. I know when Jim was having me do weights, I was like, dude, I don't want to do that heavy because I'm afraid I'm going to get all bulky. And I think I need to lose my fat first before I build a muscle under it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
No, I mean, I think you will lose fat as you're building muscle if you focus. I mean, I did hire a trainer for about 4 months to help me. He was
I feel like you're an expert. Like, you do so much research, you listen to so many podcasts, you hire trainers. You're like an expert in gluten-free, grain-free, lifting weights, skincare. Like, you truly are. Because
and also, just by the way, I'm a makeup artist, which is why I have so much makeup on.
the smoker Jack. I won't say the bad word because somebody else on here said your language is your whatever.
Yeah, they were quoting scripture, which is nice. I like scripture.
Yeah, do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths. And then we get this really bad person.
It was, it actually, this is kind of funny. It actually reminds me, back when I was really heavy, I used to like play with my makeup. I have been an esthetician for 20 years. So I've been through all of the things. And before I was an esthetician, I actually ran a laser clinic and did laser hair removal and IPL facials and all of that, and have been doing makeup almost exclusively using Jane Iredale mineral makeup since about 2001. And I remember just kind of through the early 2000s, there was this girl who was a little bit mean to me in high school. And I would post a picture of myself, like having tried like a new makeup thing, like just like, here's this new thing I just tried as a makeup artist, like,
yeah.
And she would be like sidebar talking smack about me to a friend of mine to be like, why does Jimmy always have so much makeup on? And I just thought it was so funny because I'm like, it's literally my job. It's actually my industry. So if you could maybe just be a little bit nicer, that'd be great. It's just funny. It's so just totally reminded me of that. I was just thinking like this person is definitely like the mean girl in high school, like.
So lifting weight, like going back, so lifting heavier weights is so much better because, like you said, you're burning muscle all the time, and you're or building muscle all the time, and you're burning fat because your metabolism, right? It's changing your metabolism.
Yeah, it's absolutely. So when I hired my trainer, the very first thing that he did with me was basically reverse diet. So I actually had to up my calories because I had been in a calorie deficit for so many years that my body was getting to a point where it didn't know what to do with calories. And so no matter if I was eating 1,300 calories a day, I would gain weight because that was technically considered an increase based off of the deficit that I had been in for so many years. So he basically bumped me up to 1,750 calories right away. Wow. And I thought I was going to die. I was like, I cannot eat this much food. But he had me eating before I worked out. He had me eating 3 meals a day. He had me eating a snack. It was all balanced with macros, but it was basically like a reverse diet. And he said, the very first thing that we have to do is we have to teach your body what to do with food because you have been depleting it for so long. And he also said that because I went so many hours without eating, even though, again, I had convinced myself that that was good, my body didn't know what to do with the food when I ate it. Like my bile would overproduce and you could see it in my labs that my body, like every time I ate, I would get sick. And I was asking him about that. And I'm like, I'm eating all the right things. I'm still getting sick. And he was like, well, it's because your body doesn't know what to do. You've taught your body not to eat. You literally
1,700 calories doesn't seem like that much though.
Right. So technically I should have been more like 2,000, 2,200 calories, but because I, for about 10 years, have been living around 1,200 calories a day.
Oh, so your body, okay.
1,750 was a big jump for me. Right. So he had to teach me how to eat. And then he put me in while he taught me how to eat. So basically he increased my calories while I built strength. So I did all of my weightlifting with a big calorie almost surplus. It wasn't really a surplus for my size and everything, but it was based off of how I had been living my life. So he put me on a calorie surplus, and then I focused on just getting stronger for about 3 months. And then he put me on a little bit of a deficit, and his version of a deficit was still 1,500 calories, and then the same amount of working out. And so, and again, macros, just the way that they should be, where in this case, it was a little bit less fat, more protein and carb balance, and then a little bit less fat. So that's what I've really been doing. And he said, he taught me that you basically, as you're lifting weights, you really only want to do a calorie deficit like that for about 12 weeks. And then you want to go back to eating the 1750 so that your body doesn't get to a point where you are used to that lower calorie spot. And then you don't know what to, like, your body doesn't know what to do. So you kind of have to go back and forth. But I think the idea of trying to get skinny first and then build muscle is backwards. I think you build muscle so that you know your body knows what to do, and then you work on a little bit of a calorie deficit. But it's got to be kind of strategic, and you want to make sure that you're not going so low carb that you don't have any energy, because you still need the carbs for the energy. It's just a total balance, you know?
And that's the key, balance.
Yeah.
Is obsessing over the scale or calories outdated then?
I think some people don't look at calories. I still do. Some people just look at macros. You know, I have a friend who doesn't look at the calories at all. She just eats for her macros specifically. I don't know that it's outdated to think about calories. I think if you want to reach a goal, you need to be tracking. I think tracking your food is crucial.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think tracking the food is crucial, but are you tracking the calories? You are, because your trainer put you on that increased calorie. Wants to make sure you're eating more.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about obsessing over pounds is outdated? Because a woman can weigh, like we can both weigh, let's say 150 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And you could look way different than me. Let's say we're the same height too, which
Yeah.
we're not. You're taller than I am. And I weigh more than you, and you're taller than I am. But we can look, but if you have a woman that's 5'6" or 5'8" and weighs, let's say 5'6", 150 pounds, and another woman that's 5'6", 150 pounds, they could look totally different.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it really just depends on lifestyle, right? And also genetics. I mean, some people are going to carry that up top. Some people are going to carry it in their booty. I mean, in fact, one of my friends was visiting fairly recently, and she's a little bit shorter than me, and I think she weighs less than me, but we wear the exact same size. And it shocked me because I feel like she looked thinner. I was like, oh, you look so thin. And then she put on my same trousers, and I was like, oh, we're the same size. That's weird. I wasn't sure if I was having body dysmorphia or if it's just because our body composition is different. She's a little bit straighter and I'm a little bit more curvy, you know?
Okay. I'm looking at all these things that I looked at. Okay. Obviously you would rather look and feel stronger at the same weight than you would losing 20 pounds.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, plus if I lost 20 pounds, I don't look good from here. Well, yeah. I've been told I don't look good.
Yeah. I need to lose another 20 pounds. But honestly, it's more about just like toning my body and, and I'm going to be super vulnerable right now. I don't like my arms, but they're getting better. Okay. I'm going to be really vulnerable right now. I never do this, but I don't like this. But I'm getting muscle. I'm working on it. And I still have this.
Yeah.
And as I'm getting older, it's getting harder and harder. And so I told my daughter, I'm like, don't stop working out ever. Like,
right. But also
a recommendation for me to take this and not have this. Like this.
First of all,
and this.
Why are we trying to be like
I'm comfortable in my own skin?
I know. But also like who's setting that bar for you? Do you know what I mean? Like
Me.
Is it? Yeah. Okay. So that's good. Then if that's like your goal is that I want it to be this way. I mean,
My goal is that I want to powerfully age. I'm 56, so I'm going on the second half towards 60. I know as we get older, it's harder and harder for us to get that crepey skin and keep it strong. And, and I want to, like you said, I want to be in my 70s and 80s. I want to be able to open a pickle jar. I want to walk upstairs without feeling arthritic or worrying about falling. You and I have both been around, like I took care of my aunt who fell, who ultimately died from falling. And she had to have a walker. And then I watched my parents struggle with walking. And whatever we do today is going to impact us in 20 years from now. So, yeah, I don't want to have the super crepey, flabby arms. I want strong.
First of all, you can always use our firming cream on your arms.
Oh, girl, it is so much better. Can I tell you that it is so? Here we go again. Let me take my clothes off. Yeah. We did a photo shoot last week, and they made me take my jacket off. I'm like, I'm not comfortable with this, and she's like, what? But no, seriously, like the firming cream has helped my legs.
I know.
My legs. I have been putting it on my arms. And Jeannie's doing inventory right now. She's probably going to say, we're low on the firming cream because I'm like lathering it. And I'm doing like that brush thing too.
Yeah.
I'm also trying to lift weights. And you can see as I'm doing this that there's that, I've got this.
Well, there's also, I mean, for me, I have extra, and I think it's from my body has stretched out.
Yeah.
Significantly. And then it has shrunk back. So I don't know if this will ever not be there, but I also know that like living life and being the different sizes I've been and all of that makes me who I am. And I'm kind of tired of us constantly apologizing for our arms
or pointing out our,
like, why can't our arms just have a little bit of extra skin on it? Like who's to say that that's not healthy or not good or not? It's perfectly normal. There's lots of people who have been through different things that have stretched out their skin and now it's shrunk back. And I'm not going to go get surgery because of the tiny little skin on my arm, you know?
Well, the arm surgery, when I was an Optavia coach, one of the coaches got it, is extremely, Andrea, I don't know if you remember that, extremely painful surgery and a lot of complications. I would never recommend skin removal from your arms. Like lift weights, use our firming cream. It really does make a difference. I'm in shock. Why does it make a difference?
Oh my God.
Firming cream make a difference?
The peptides are a huge part of it. And so, topical peptides are huge. And then we, essentially we built this product, designed this product to firm and tighten and tone the skin. And it really does work. Soursop, Irish sea moss, fruit stem cells, and then the peptides. It's just a magic sauce, really. And I mean, the biggest thing is actually like soursop fruit and leaves, Irish sea moss, and then the fruit stem cells are our magic sauce. That's our foundation for every single product that we make.
You guys need to get our skincare. You really do, because it's funny. I recently did this. Well, I'm in this pilot study, whatever. Anyways, I was around a bunch of people and we had to like guess our chronological ages. And I know people are trying to be nice, but I got 40s routinely. I'm like, 56. And one person said maybe 51. And I know it's our skincare. Matter of fact, I had a facial the other day and she's like, what are you using? I said, Livion 4-Step. I never tell them I'm the owner of it. I just don't feel like dealing with that. The Livion 4-Step, it uses exactly what you said. I'm like, it uses Irish sea moss, it uses soursop, and then we use fruit stem cells. And they're like, ooh, fruit stem cells. I forgot to say peptides. Anyways, she's like, well, it is working great for you. Like your skin looks amazing. It's not dehydrated. It's got firmness to it. She's like, are you doing any collagen? Like, what are you doing there? Of course, you and I are
we're both doing collagen.
Yeah. We're doing Shaklee's collagen.
Shaklee's Modere collagen.
Yeah. Modere, Shaklee bought Modere, which I got to meet the owner of Shaklee, who is part of the Burberry family. And he is just really all about studies and patents and like making sure scientifically it's great and it works and that it's clean, and not trying to put out a product just to make a buck. He's
Yeah.
really all about the science behind it. And he has plenty of money, y'all. He has, I mean, it probably TMI, he sold his house in Miami for like 35 million, but he's part of the Burberry family. He's got tons of money, but he's really passionate about health and wellness, and he looks great and his wife looks fantastic. But tell us more about it, because you've been using that product forever, and then Shaklee bought Modere. And so you're actually selling it along with our products, but it works really good together. And you and I, you got me on it. You got me taking the collagen.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then they just launched that new one, the BioCell Life, which is incredible. It tastes so good.
Yeah. And they have their own oral version of a GLP-1 called Firm that it tastes like chocolate, which actually does curb your appetite. But yeah, the collagen is amazing. I think inside and out.
Yeah. I've been using, well, so this is kind of interesting. I was using Modere, gosh, like I think I started using it in 2019. And I love their products. The collagen though, the trim, which is the specific one that is, you know, they push that one for like, if you want to get trim, like you take this. So, of course I was like all about trying to get skinny back then. But what was good and also bad for me was that it actually does, curb your appetite a little bit. And I didn't really need any excuses to not eat, you know. I was like, oh, this is bad. But yeah, so it's really good for joint health. It's an award-winning patent like blend of collagen, and it's just like incredible. But what's interesting about it is it used to curb my appetite, and I just like wouldn't be hungry, so I just wouldn't eat. I would like be like, oh, I'm just intermittent fasting like all day because the trim is making me not hungry. But what's great is as we're, you know, again, as we're aging, we really need that joint, our joints. It's almost like I think about collagen as sort of like it's like lubing up our joints, you know, making it so that they don't like snap and crackle and pop. And I hear a lot of ladies in their 50s talk about their joints and how sore their joints are as they're getting older. And I don't have no problem
with that at 56, by the way. My joints don't hurt, and I should with autoimmune.
Yeah.
The connective tissue disorder and lupus, my joints should hurt like they used to, and they don't. I used to get like random sharp pains, and I'd be like, oh, it feels like I hit my elbow. You know that feeling?
Yep.
Random. And it would happen in my legs a lot, and I don't get that anymore.
I haven't had problems with my joints, but I've also I took a break for about a year when Modere was going through their transition because I wasn't sure what was going on. And then I've started taking it again, and I immediately can see a difference and feel a difference. I just love it so much. So definitely highly recommend Shaklee / Modere collagen. I do the liquid BioCell and the trim because I do both. Yeah, I take them both at the same time.
I just started doing that because of you, and also because of a couple other women. Like Emily Ford, she's pregnant right now, but she looks amazing. Sarah Robbins, I just feel like they're great inspiration, and they're part of Shaklee. So I've been ordering it. Where can they get it from you?
I can put a link in, but it's
and then we got to get our skincare, Livion.com.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we'll put all the links for sure.
The esthetician that gave me the facial works for a doctor. She's like one of those estheticians. Not at a spa, but at a Medi-Spa.
Medi-Spa, yeah.
And she was like, wow, your skin is looking so great. And she's like,
it really is.
So it's just us. That's all I've been using for the last, I don't know, year and a half.
Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah. It's really great. I mean, and the thing is like, I think we've talked about it in a past episode where, you know, with weight loss that can cause, you know, extreme, like they call it Ozempic face now, but it's not even necessarily Ozempic face. It's literally just like when you're in a calorie deficit, your body needs a minute to catch up to all of that. And so our skincare line absolutely can help with Ozempic face. We'll just call it that. But with like the sagging skin as you lose weight quickly, I think I told you.
you get this too. And it's working so good on mine. I'm doing nothing here except for that. Anyways, go on.
No, I know. Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like when anybody loses weight quickly, it takes a minute for the skin to catch up. And some people are mean and nasty about that to others. Like, I don't understand why people have opinions about other people and how they look. And I just think it's silly. I think you can
look in the mirror,
live your best life and do you, boo, you know, but
cheer other women on. Men need to be less critical of women and the way they look.
And women need to be less critical of women. I mean, I follow that. I can't remember what her name is, but I follow this girl. She's like a body positivity girl on Instagram. And she just recently posted, I don't even know why this just came up into my brain, but I'm going to share it. She recently posted like side by sides of women who are aging naturally and women who are using fillers and Botox and things, or even plastic surgery. And the comments about both women: she's ugly. She has let herself go. She's too plastic. She's too skinny. She's too fat. She's too this. She's, like Pamela Anderson not wearing makeup anymore. And everybody's being so critical of her for not wearing makeup, whilst somebody her same exact age who like has too much makeup on. So it's like this interesting, like side by side, everybody just has something to
Can we
say.
just all cheer each other on? And if we find something that works, can we share it and be authentic and like just cheer each other on? And there's so much.
I know.
Life is so hard already without us being mean to each other. Can we just be cheerleaders for each other and help each other? And if we have something amazing that works, share it. Like,
or also
share and quit being this way. And
And also, don't be afraid to share that something that's working. I think a lot of people are so afraid of like the multi-level marketing world that they're afraid that, I can't share this thing that's working for me because it's an MLM, or I can't share because they'll think I'm working for an MLM, or there's all these perceptions. And I think word of mouth is the best. I think knowing something has worked for a friend of yours, whether it be a diet protocol or a workout. I mean, I use the Alive app for workout. And I learned about it from one of my best friends. I said, what are you doing for a guidance on strength training? Like just an app to kind of tell you what to do. And she goes, I use this app. It's called Alive. And you can do Pilates if you want, or you can do weightlifting if you want, or you can do whichever. And it's like $16 a month. But I learned about it from a friend because she wasn't afraid to share.
Yeah. We all need to cheer each other on. Life is just hard. In general, we need to be each other's cheerleaders and support each other. And I don't care what size you are or how much money you make. Gosh, that could be a whole nother podcast.
Oh gosh.
These people that are your friends when you're making millions, and then your business goes under and they won't even talk to you, like you're not good enough for them. Well, that could be a whole nother conversation. But literally, we need to start cheering each other on. No matter what size, age, economic status. I'm sick of all of that, of the fake people in our world. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
A lot. Don't get me started on that one. I'm a cheerleader for anybody and everybody.
It's true. You really are.
I really do try not to judge. I was accused of being very judgmental recently by somebody. And I'm just like, gotta look at yourself in the mirror. Because you're judging me that I'm judging, and I'm not judging you. Be a better person. I'm giving you a couple ideas of things that you've complained about. Like, hey, if somebody weighs 200 pounds and they're happy in their skin, who am I to judge that? Like, I'm not judging.
Yeah. I had a friend, I went out to dinner with a friend a couple weeks ago, and she's a little bit older than me. So it's fun to hear kind of her perspective on things. And she's got grandbabies, and as we were talking, she goes, I don't give advice. I don't give any advice. And I said, you don't give any advice to anybody? She goes, not even if they ask for it. She goes, because the reality is nobody actually wants your advice. I was like, that is very good advice.
No advice is good advice. Well, but here's the thing, and she's probably right. And I know we got to wrap up. We have gone really long today. We've got to wrap up. This is such a hot topic though. And we've been through it. Like we've been friends and worked together for 10 years now. And
Yeah.
we've been through a lot of ups and downs and food and
Thick and thin.
thick and thin, literally. But, I really appreciate somebody that's older to give me advice. And I wish the younger generation would appreciate our age, because if I could be where Caroline is, my daughter at 22, and get the advice I want to give her and take it and hold on to it, oh my gosh, where would I be today? I mean, I think I've done pretty well,
Me
but
too.
I think I would be even so much farther, or maybe have helped so many more people, which is my ultimate goal, and leave a legacy. But sometimes that younger generation doesn't want to listen to you. Hence the dinner table last night with Grant. But it's like, I want to hear the older people.
Me too.
I loved having my aunt around. I missed her terribly, and she passed away, but I loved getting her wisdom. Like, let me soak it up. You've been through it, girl.
And also, it's so good because I think maybe now I just realize, as I'm going through perimenopause and heading into like this next chapter of my life, it's so important to garner wisdom from people who are older than you, who've been through it, who, her comments about not giving, I can appreciate that, not giving advice where it's not really wanted, or, like her kids maybe are like, no, thank you. I don't want to hear, and I'm over here like, can you please tell me what to do? Because you look amazing, so.
And I don't know, I'm happy to give anybody some wisdom on the last year I've been through. By the way, today, 1 year anniversary of the ultimate betrayal that I found. It was today that I found it. I won't go into that. But the IRS just recently let us off the hook, and that was a huge deal. So if you're being audited by the IRS, you're going to gain weight because it's so stressful.
Oh my God,
but I love to help people and give my advice, especially if I know that it can truly help them. But I'm really interested in getting advice from older people that have been there and done that before. And I often say that in business, like, they're like, well, how'd you do that? How'd you do that? And I'm like, I'm happy to share it, but like, ask people for help, because they really want to help you. And especially if they've done that, been there, and they're an expert on it. We're going so far off topic right now, and we've got to wrap up. But I think getting advice from people, like I love to listen to you about weight training and weight loss and body composition and food, because you're so experienced and you've been through it all, and you research. You're not just somebody that like just talks out of talking. You've like done your research, and then you've applied it to your life. You're the real deal. You talk and walk the walk. You walk the walk, you talk the talk, whatever it is, whatever that saying is, like, you're the real deal. So I think of you as an authority figure, and I listen to that. And you're younger than me. You're 10 years younger than me. But so it shouldn't just be the older people giving younger people advice. It's
people who have walked the path, I guess, maybe.
Yeah. So hopefully people will listen to this and maybe think twice about just weight loss, and think about lifting weight. Like, what is your advice? Top 3 things that somebody could do if they want to change their body composition.
Well, the first thing I would do is cut gluten. I mean, I just
to do that.
Yeah, it's so anymore. And there's just, that's a whole nother episode, but that's the first thing I would do if you're trying to change your lifestyle, is just stop with the gluten. And then I would start lifting weights. I would just start really small, just lift what you can. Obviously you can't start lifting heavy right away. And I say I lift heavy. I lift heavy for me. I mean, I don't lift heavy compared to some of the people I watch on Instagram, but for me, it's heavy. And I really just, progressive overload. And if you want to change your body composition, I would really recommend hiring a trainer and having somebody help you and show you how to do it right, because you can do it wrong and you can hurt yourself. And I have hypermobility, so I have to be very careful not to throw my back out. As you know, that happens to me, just lifting my 2-year-old onto a toilet in the middle of a gas station, and and then I end up in the hospital because of it. So I have to be very careful. So I would just recommend, first things first, just clean up your diet, whether that be gluten or Honestly, just anything that you probably just know already inherently that you need to clean up. But I would definitely start lifting weights and hire somebody to help you, even just, or, get an app, something to help you get, on the weightlifting track. I definitely think that's the way to go personally.
All right. We got to wrap up, but
Yeah.
I wish that we had a few people on here today.
Yeah.
And here's one from Emma who likes my necklace,
I
but
see that.
she said, "Y'all are wonderful. Jimmy, you're gorgeous."
No.
But she's got to go and she's going to, yeah. And do y'all take prayers? Absolutely.
Yes, we do. I was going to say, Emma, we do take prayers. Send us what you have. We will be praying for you.
Yeah. Okay. Good talk. A lot of follow up there that we could do. But yeah, put your collagen link in because it is amazing.
Okay, I will add it.
So you guys, with the issues I have that I'm working on, you should have seen I should have a before and after. I do, but I should show it to you. Because I'm telling you, our cream has made a huge difference. That and all the other stuff we talked about, like lifting weights and all that.
Yeah, it's been really fun. We will be back in a couple of weeks. We're doing this every other Wednesday at 2:00 Eastern. So if you want to hang out with us again, that's where we'll be.
Yeah, and I think we haven't decided what the next topic will be in 2 weeks, but I think it's going to be something juicy. I don't know. I think we should talk about sex.
Oh, jeez.
I feel like talking about sex lately.
Okay.
Okay, we'll talk offline and figure out if that's what we're going to talk about.
All right. Sounds good. Okay. We will see you all next time.
All right. Bye.